Doctors warn seniors, stop mixing cucumbers with these three foods immediately. You know, sometimes the smallest things can teach us the biggest lessons. A simple vegetable sitting quietly in your kitchen, like a cucumber, might seem harmless. It's fresh, crunchy, cooling, and feels like one of the safest things you can put on your plate. But hidden beneath that refreshing bite, there are secrets most people never talk about, secrets that become even more important as we get older. When you reach a certain age, your body starts speaking to you in a language that's quieter but much wiser. You notice that not every food combination feels right anymore. You feel it in your gut, in your energy, in the way you sleep at night. It's not about being fragile, it's about being tuned in, sharper than ever before. And that's exactly where true wisdom lives. In paying attention to what your body, your lifelong companion, is trying to tell you. Today, we're diving into a surprising truth that many doctors are starting to warn about. Something our grandparents and great-grandparents often knew without even needing a medical degree. Mixing cucumbers, yes, that innocent, healthy cucumber, with certain types of foods can create a storm inside your body. For seniors, whose systems are seasoned but sensitive, these little storms can add up, affecting digestion, energy, and even overall health in ways you might not expect. Think of your body like a garden. Over time, it needs a little more care, a little more understanding. You can't just throw any 2 seeds into the soil and expect a beautiful bloom. Some combinations choke each other out. Others thrive side by side. Food works the same way. Certain mixes nourish you. Others quietly sap your strength day by day. This isn't about fear. It's about empowerment. It's about using the wisdom you've gathered through decades of living, loving, and learning to make even better choices now. It's about recognizing that small changes can lead to big transformations. And when it comes to mixing cucumbers with the wrong foods, knowing what to avoid could be the difference between feeling sluggish and feeling strong, between feeling just okay and truly vibrant. You deserve to feel vibrant. You've earned that right. So let's sit down together, like family, and talk about the foods that don't belong on the same plate as your cucumbers. Along the way, we'll uncover not just the science behind it, but the deeper lessons life has been quietly teaching us all along. Let's get into it. Number 1, the ancient guardian, cucumbers and dairy. Imagine a quiet kitchen at the end of a long summer day. The windows are open, the curtains fluttering gently in the breeze. On the worn wooden table sits a bowl of freshly picked cucumbers, cool to the touch, still carrying the scent of the earth. In the corner, an elder stands, preparing a simple meal the same way they have for decades. Their movements are slow but sure, as if every slice of cucumber, every turn of the knife, holds a story. This isn't just cooking, it's an act of memory, a ritual passed down through the generations. Cucumbers have always held a special place in our diets, particularly for seniors. Their lightness, their crispness, it's like eating a piece of nature itself. They bring hydration, help cool the body, and provide a sense of freshness that's hard to match. They're comforting, familiar, almost innocent. But even the gentlest foods can clash when combined carelessly. In the old days, people didn't need a medical journal to figure that out. They learned it the hard way, through feeling. And one lesson that echoes through time is this: don't mix cucumbers with dairy. On the surface, it sounds harmless. A cucumber salad with a dollop of creamy yogurt dressing? Delicious, right? But deep within your body, especially for an older digestive system, a very different story begins to unfold. Cucumbers, being so water-rich and naturally cooling, tend to slow down digestion. They ask your stomach to take its time, to move gently. Dairy, on the other hand, especially the heavy, rich types, like cheese, cream, and full-fat milk, demands a different kind of digestion, one that works harder, heats up, and pushes through dense, fatty textures. When you mix these two forces, one asking to slow down, the other pushing to work harder, your body gets confused. Digestion stutters. Food sits longer in the gut than it should. Instead of nourishing you, it starts to ferment, producing gas, bloating, and discomfort. Over time, these little battles inside your body chip away at your energy and your resilience. Modern science has started to back this up. Studies now show that as we age, our digestive enzymes naturally decrease. Our gut bacteria, so essential for breaking down food efficiently, becomes more sensitive. Throw a confusing combination into that delicate system, and it's like asking an old clock to run faster while pouring sand into its gears. Ancient traditions, especially Ayurveda, taught that food was more than just calories. It was energy. It was vibration. It was life force. They saw cucumbers as cooling, perfect for hot days, for calming the body. They saw dairy as building, nourishing, but also heavy. Put two conflicting energies together at the wrong time, and you disrupt not just your digestion, but your balance, your internal harmony. It's powerful when you think about it. Long before we had laboratories and blood tests, seniors knew. They paid attention. They felt how different foods made them lighter or heavier, sharper or slower. And they didn't ignore it. They adjusted. They learned. They passed down those lessons, not through textbooks, but through meals, through conversations at kitchen tables, through a careful hand guiding yours as you prepared your own plate. And today that wisdom is still whispering to us. Are we listening? The truth is, small choices like separating your cucumbers and your dairy can make a bigger difference than you think. It's not just about avoiding discomfort. It's about giving your body the easiest path to nourish itself. It's about saying, I respect you, to the body that has carried you through every year, every memory, every joy and hardship. You don't have to give up cucumbers. You don't have to fear dairy. You simply honor each one by giving it its own time, its own space to work its magic inside you. Imagine starting your meal with a crisp cucumber salad, dressed with olive oil and herbs, letting it refresh and hydrate you. And then, much later, enjoying a creamy yogurt for dessert, or a slice of aged cheese as a snack. You let each flavor sing solo, instead of forcing a messy duet. That's wisdom. That's grace. That's the kind of living that makes you stronger with every choice, not weaker. Our elders understood this, even if they couldn't explain it the way doctors do today. They trusted what their bodies told them. They trusted nature's signals, and that trust gave them a kind of quiet power. The power to live longer, feel lighter, and stay connected to their own vitality. So the next time you reach for that cucumber and think about pairing it with something creamy, pause. Remember the hands that peeled cucumbers by the open window. Remember the quiet lessons that never needed shouting. And honor yourself. Not by restriction, but by wise, joyful choice. That's how true health is built. Not by trends, not by fads, but by listening, by learning, and by living with intention, one meal at a time. Number 2, fire and ice, cucumbers and spicy foods. There's a special kind of memory tucked into summer nights, the sound of laughter around a smoky grill, the smell of spicy food sizzling in the air, plates loaded with vibrant flavors and colors. It's a scene that feels almost timeless. You can probably close your eyes right now and feel it. The heat of the day lingering on your skin, a cold drink sweating in your hand, a plate of spicy kebabs, curries, or hot wings in front of you. And right there on the side of the plate, a few slices of cucumber. Cool, crisp, meant to balance out the spice, right? It feels natural, almost instinctive. But what if I told you, in the way only a good friend would, that this beloved combination might be doing more harm than good, especially as you age? You see, spicy foods are fire. They ignite your body from the inside. They raise your temperature, speed up your metabolism, and trigger a cascade of reactions that get your blood pumping and your nerves tingling. They make you feel alive, electric, powerful. Cucumbers, by their very nature, are the exact opposite. They're the embodiment of coolness. Their water-rich flesh soothes, hydrates, and cools your system down, whispering calm to the internal fire. When you throw both into your body at the same time, the roaring fire of spice and the icy chill of cucumber, your digestion doesn't know which way to turn. Should it speed up, slow down, sweat, chill? For young, resilient bodies, this internal tug-of-war might barely make a ripple. But for seniors, whose digestive systems have already weathered decades of life's storms, this confusion can lead to real trouble. Heartburn, indigestion, unstable blood pressure, a tiredness that seems to creep into your bones without warning. And it's not just physical. Ancient traditions believed that food affects not just the body, but the mind, the spirit. Spicy foods were said to ignite passion, courage, sometimes even anger. Cooling foods like cucumbers were linked to peace, clarity, reflection. When you combine these opposing energies at the wrong time, you don't just disrupt digestion, you disrupt emotional balance too. It's no coincidence that elders, those who lived with a quiet kind of wisdom, would eat their spicy meals thoughtfully. They would pair spice with grounding foods, lentils, rice, cooked vegetables, foods that could absorb the fire, stabilize it, not fight it. Cucumbers would come later, maybe hours later, when the body had settled, ready to receive their calming touch. Today we move so fast that we often miss these subtleties. We pile everything on one plate, looking for flavor explosions without thinking about the aftermath. But life, especially in our later years, isn't meant to be lived in explosions. It's meant to be savored, to be balanced. There's a reason why, in so many cultures, elders were the guardians of the kitchen. Not because they cooked the fanciest meals, but because they understood balance better than anyone else. They knew that food could either fan your inner flames to dangerous heights or cool your spirit into stagnation. The art was in knowing when to ignite and when to soothe. And so it is with cucumbers and spice. When you crave that fiery meal, honor it. Embrace the heat. But let the cucumber wait. Give your body time to process the fire before inviting in the cool. Allow yourself the rhythm of it, the rise and the fall. Like a good song, life is sweeter when you don't try to play every note at once. Eating is not just a biological act. It's a conversation with yourself. It's a dialogue between energy and peace, between passion and patience. And the older you get, the more fluent you become in that language, if you're willing to listen. So the next time the grill is fired up and the spice is calling your name, enjoy it. Laugh a little louder. Savor every bite. But let the cucumber wait its turn. Give your body the gift of balance. Let the fire burn bright and strong. Then invite the coolness to follow like a soft breeze after a summer storm. That's not just smart eating. That's wise living. And it's wisdom like this, simple, powerful, earned through experience, that keeps the spirit youthful even as the years pass. Number 3, sweet deception, cucumbers and sugary foods. There's something so tender, so familiar, about the way seniors share sweetness with the world. A grandfather slipping a piece of candy into a grandchild's pocket. A grandmother setting down a tray of cookies, her hands worn but gentle. Sweetness, for many of us, is tangled up in love, in kindness, in celebration. And yet, as we grow older, sweetness becomes something we have to handle with a little more care. Because not all sweetness is innocent, especially when it comes to how it mixes with certain foods, like the humble cucumber. At first glance, pairing cucumbers with sweet food seems harmless. After all, cucumbers are so mild, almost flavorless. What harm could a fresh cucumber salad alongside a sweet fruit platter or a sugary dessert possibly do? It feels light, refreshing, even healthy. But here's where the deception comes in. Cucumbers, once again, are mostly water. Their job in your body is to hydrate, to cool, to refresh. Sweet foods, especially those rich in processed sugars, ask your body to do the opposite. They stimulate insulin production, spike your blood sugar, and demand fast, heavy digestion. Now, when you combine a cooling, hydrating food with a heavy sugar-laden one, you set up a silent conflict inside you. The cucumber tries to slow things down, to soothe. The sugar tries to rush digestion, to spike energy levels. The result, poor digestion, sluggishness, bloating, and if it becomes a habit, deeper metabolic problems that can affect blood sugar stability over time. And for seniors whose bodies are already more sensitive to sugar swings and crashes, this mixture can be particularly harmful. But this goes beyond just the physical effects. Throughout life, we learn that not everything sweet is good for us. Sometimes the things that seem most comforting carry hidden costs. It's a lesson that doesn't just apply to food. It applies to people, to promises, to habits we form without even noticing. Mixing cucumbers and sugary foods is like mixing hope with recklessness. It feels good in the moment, but if you're not careful, it leaves you weaker, more vulnerable. Our elders knew the dangers of too much sweetness. They might not have known the word insulin resistance, but they knew the feeling of a sugar crash. They knew that a body filled with too much artificial sweetness grew tired faster, lost strength sooner. That's why, in many traditional meals, sweets were reserved for special occasions, not everyday indulgence, and even then, they were balanced. A piece of fruit here, a spoonful of honey there, always measured, always respected. The cucumber, in all its quiet glory, was never meant to be paired with such chaos. It was meant to cleanse, to restore, to bring the body back to balance after life's excesses, not to be thrown into the whirlwind of sugar highs and crashes. Think about the sweetness that matters most in life. It's not the sugary rush, it's the slow, steady sweetness of moments. A hand held during a hard time, a quiet word of encouragement, the simple joy of waking up pain-free on a morning bathed in light. True sweetness is sustainable. It lifts you up without tearing you down. That's the wisdom hidden in this simple lesson. Respect the sweetness of life, and respect the sweetness on your plate. The next time you reach for a cucumber, let it be a moment of clarity, of renewal. Enjoy it with savory foods, with grains, with herbs and spices that honor its nature. And when you choose to indulge in something sweet, let it stand alone, savored slowly, appreciated fully, like a treasured memory, not rushed, not mixed, not confused. In doing so, you're not just taking care of your digestion, you're honoring a deeper truth, that the best things in life, the truest forms of sweetness, never need to be rushed, overwhelmed, or diluted. You have lived enough years to know life is too precious to waste on anything that doesn't nourish you inside and out. And that is the kind of wisdom that keeps a spirit shining bright, no matter how many years go by. Conclusion: the silent power of small choices. Life teaches us that it's never the loudest lessons that shape us the most. It's the quiet ones, the almost invisible shifts, the small, consistent choices that carve the deepest, lasting mark. Today, we uncovered 3 of those quiet lessons, hidden in something as simple as a cucumber. Not mixing it with dairy, not mixing it with fiery spices at the wrong time, and not pairing it with heavy sugars may seem like small details, but like all true wisdom, they ripple outward, touching more than just digestion. They touch the way we move through life itself. Respecting how foods interact inside your body is an act of deep personal love. It's saying to yourself, I am worth the patience, I am worth the balance. I am worth the attention, because you are. Every year you've lived, every experience you've carried, has sharpened your intuition, and that intuition speaks even through the smallest choices. What you eat, how you rest, what you welcome and what you gently walk away from. The body you live in today may be slower, softer in places, but it is wiser, stronger where it counts. Choosing not to mix cucumbers with certain foods isn't about fear, it's about trust. Trust in yourself. Trust in the deep reservoir of experience you've earned, the one no textbook or trend can ever replace. And beyond the food, there's an even bigger invitation here to live with balance, to embrace the fiery moments when they come, but to know when to cool down, to savor the sweetness of life, but not to drown in it, to nourish yourself, not just with meals, but with choices that honor the powerful, beautiful life you've built. You, who have weathered storms and basked in sunshine, deserve to thrive, not just survive. You deserve a body that feels as steady and kind as the heart that beats within it. You deserve the easy strength that comes from living in harmony with yourself. So the next time you stand in your kitchen, a cucumber in hand, I hope you smile, because now you're not just holding a vegetable, you're holding a key to living a little lighter, a little clearer, a little wiser every single day. And that's the kind of wisdom the world needs now more than ever. The kind that shines quietly, steadily, like a lighthouse on a dark night, showing others the way without ever demanding attention. Thank you for being a part of this journey today. If these words stirred something in you, hold on to it. Share your own wisdom. Keep listening to the quiet lessons. And above all, keep choosing yourself, one small, powerful choice at a time. The best years are still ahead.